This is Premier Championship Wrestling, Cleveland, Ohio for Outbreak.
We begin tonight with our first contest scheduled for 1
My name is Joe Dombrowski. I am joined by Marcus Mann, filling in for Benjamin C. Steele this broadcast. Marcus, welcome to Premier Championship Wrestling for the first time.
Thank you very much. Excited to be here. BC Steele gave me the call, asked me to fill in. I'm excited, Joe. First time doing commentary for you here, and first one off the bat. I'm excited for this matchup. This is, like I said, great night of wrestling for us.
Absolutely. It is a night with heightened tension in the air. You can feel it permeating throughout the locker room. Some grudges are going to be settled and some matches we thought we'd never see.
Yeah, and kicking it off with a huge grudge match, as you've just alluded to. Tony Johnson coming out here. One of my favorite wrestlers to see representing the main event. I am... Tony Johnson representing the main event. You know, Joe, I was actually in the building when Tony Johnson jumped out of the stands from the merchandise table and attacked Remy LaVey. And I gotta say, I was so excited to see Tony Johnson living up to his full potential.
I was back at Holiday Havoc in December. Johnson was the secret weapon. The secret weapon that led to Chris LaRusso's court defeating the Culmination and Cornelius Crumbles on that night. But this turf war continues to rage between these two factions. We'll see it represented one-on-one here in just a moment. As Tony Johnson, the only man here tonight representing his group, the rest serving a suspension for the attack on this man. And they're wasting no time. Mind Eraser Remy LaVey of the Culmination taking down Tony Johnson, who has been the main event mercenary, so to speak, helping doing the bidding of Gannon Jones Jr., Duke Davis. They, along with Chris LaRusso, are suspended for their physicality in the parking lot attack on Remy LaVey. We saw on Premier's social media, Tony Johnson was holding the camera. He was not physically involved, but certainly still an accomplice that Remy LaVey would like retribution on, as Remy starts out very quickly here. Neckbreaker variation. Remy came into his matchup with Ron Malthus injured last month at 0 Hour, thanks to what Gannon, Duke, LaRusso, and Tony had done, and Mathis made an example out of Remy LaVey in that moment. Remy has not forgotten it.
Yeah, and I don't know why Remy LaVey would blame Tony Johnson for all of this, and it's not like Tony Johnson did anything to him.
Well, the Tornado DDT, Remy's doing a lot to Johnson. 2 count only. Keep in mind, as you touched upon, it was Tony Johnson that sucker shot at Remy LaVey and cost Remy the fall in that big 8-man tag team matchup. These 2 men were involved with each other in turf war in January. Remy eliminated Tony Johnson, but Johnson, I think, lingered around ringside to be a distraction. Johnson able to cut off Remy at the pass. Remy went high risk. You don't see Remy leave his feet that often, but that shows you the mentality Remy is in here on a night when his 2 brothers, Glory and Atticus, meet for the Premier Championship. Wait a minute.
Tony Johnson's a great cameraman. I think he's getting his own shots here.
Yeah, well,
I look good on that.
not the first time Tony Johnson has done some sinister deeds involving a camera, a flashback of sorts to that parking lot assault that Remy LaVey was just a sitting duck for And again, it's divide and conquer. LaRusso's court, as Johnson now in for the cover, finds two. LaRusso's court is the reason that Otis Coger's premier career ended. Certainly they took partial credit to the injury that Atticus Coger suffered. They took credit for the injuries of Remy LaVey, as we saw in film. And a twisting backbreaker, nicely done. And it has been, as the cover cinched in for two, it's been an attempt to divide and conquer. The culmination step by step. Johnson has been the latest addition to that quest. And Johnson's somebody that we both have known around the area for a number of years. Very underrated in what he's capable of. Is another cover here. Johnson gets two. Is this allegiance with LaRusso's court what Johnson needs to break out from the pack?
Yeah, Tony Johnson has been an underrated wrestler for a very long time. But what Tony Johnson has lacked is what you're seeing right here, which is that vicious side of him. You know, you call him a hired gun, you can call him a mercenary, but he can take you apart piece by piece. And doing that to Remy LaVey here with those boots to the neck, to the head area, to the chest, really driving his foot right into Remy LaVey.
And that neck was what was damaged most. Remy LaVey's head and neck was smashing a car door in that parking lot. And we saw Ron Mathis zero in on it at 0 hour as Johnson, another near fall. Johnson's trying to end this thing quickly. He's trying to capitalize off of those lingering Remy LaVey injuries. I think Johnson knows that the culmination mindset is as unstable as ever, but is Remy LaVey thinking completely about this matchup, or is his mind on his brothers fighting later tonight?
Yeah, Remy LaVey, you know, mentally Remy LaVey always been the head games guy. Big sling blade there. Beautiful by Remy LaVey. He's trying to find some momentum. But yeah, your man can't be in the right place at all times, but he's got to focus on Johnson here as he's finally trying to get some momentum.
And Tony back with a huge uppercut. Remy able to sidestep the second backbreaker. Nicely done.
Remy LaVey, like I said, trying to find this momentum. It's so hard against Tony Johnson. He's so fluid, so good technically. But Remy LaVey, unorthodox in his style, can really transition well.
And it's Remy's shot here. Look out! Clothesline, and Johnson lands hard. Remy on top. Not enough as of yet, but with LaRusso in the main event suspension, with Ron Mathis, and I'll be honest, I have no idea where Ron Mathis is. Don't want to know where Ron Mathis is. But I know he's hangry because he's not Premier Champion. His mindset is as volatile as ever. Remy with a Boston Crab here.
Yeah, Remy trying to cinch this in. Tony Johnson looks so close to tapping here. Remy's got to get his legs a little bent more here, but Tony Johnson trying to find his way over the ropes, it looks like.
No, he's trying to find his way to his warm-up jacket. That's what that is. Tony Johnson, well, I don't know what in the world he's doing, but...
It looks like referee Joe McCoy's trying to get that jacket out of his hands, too.
Yeah, I mean, some kind of a struggle here. And I think McCoy could investigate and see that Johnson was reaching for an equalizer. Those are brass knucks. Johnson, in the confusion, is nowhere near out of the hold he was tapping.
Yeah, but it looks like referee McCoy there did not see it. Remy LaVey trying to explain it to him here.
Yeah, this matchup should, in all intents and purposes, be over. But Tony Johnson now, he's to his feet, and a kick to the face. That's the same way Johnson came out of the merchandise stand and leveled Remy in an 8-man tag, and now Tony Johnson pins Remy again.
Yeah. Using a play out of the main event playbook. Distraction there, a little bit of chicanery you could call from Tony Johnson, but he finds a way to win. That's a big win for Tony Johnson, building some momentum here.
And it's a win for LaRusso's court over the culmination once more, and with the rest of LaRusso's court not in attendance, with the culmination worried about their matchup later on, this may have been Remy's last and best chance to get Tony Johnson in a one-on-one environment, but Johnson, resourceful, finds a way to get the victory.